Welcome, 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 you guys. This is The Token and the Truth. I am Lady Drea Renee with my amazing, traditional, talented co-host, Freddie B. Welcome, you guys. What's up, Freddie
Exactly.
B?
Welcome. What up, y'all? It's your man Freddie B right here with Lady Renee. Renee. Oh my God. Lady Drea
Wow.
Renee.
Drea Renee.
Right. Lady Drea
Dre
Renee.
gang.
And let's just hop into it, man. We got some great stuff for you guys today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. And thank you. Thank you.
All the
Support is free,
things.
guys. Support is free. Today.
Oh, I like that, Freddie, because it's true.
Support is free, right? Today we're talking about Larsa Pippen, who is for the streets, if you ask me. Issa Rae. Issa Rae, my girl Issa Rae. I love me some Issa Rae, but
Love Issa Rae.
just you could love somebody and disagree with some of the things they do.
Yes, you can. I love this. Look at our lovely relationship. So
yes. it's so lost in today's world. People love somebody as soon as one thing they don't agree with. Cancel them.
Cancel. That's right, Freddie. That's true. That's
so and then we're gonna talk about that and then whatever else we get into. Let's start off. Larsa Pippen, your best friend. Take it away.
Larsa Pippen, you guys, is in the news. As you know, she is no longer with Scottie Pippen, who was a big NBA player with Chicago Bulls, and is now currently dating Michael Jordan's son, which is so interesting to me. However, anyway, they are in the news because she is getting apparently half. Let me pull this up for you kids. She's getting half of his retirement. And, I got to say, this is pretty intense. So Larsa Pippen awarded 50% of ex-husband Scottie Pippen's Chicago Bulls retirement. Now, people in the comments went off. There were a lot of people saying, she deserved it. She should have had it. She was there for him. She took care of his kids, all the things. First of all, I thought they got divorced a while ago. I thought this was settled a bit ago, but I guess not. So it seemed like in the comments, people were 50-50. A lot of men piped up saying, this is why you don't get married. This is why I ain't getting married because of stuff like this. And I will say from the male perspective, if you look at something like this doesn't make marriage exactly super attractive, right? Especially because, look, we talk about the modern female, but there are modern men now. And the modern man attitude is we are not going to get married. And I am not going to give I got to say half of his retirement, that's pretty intense. I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying that she didn't, do her motherly duties, her wifely duties. She even said recently in a clip, I can't remember what show it was on, but they had sex every single day almost or something like that, which I'm not really sure if that's true or not. I mean, who has that kind of time? But that's what she was saying. And she kind of made it sound, I'm not going to lie, a little transactional, right? Because now she's getting half his retirement. I'm like, girl, half? What are your thoughts, Freddie? I don't know.
I mean, see, the thing is if you know Scottie Pippen's story, Scottie Pippen was green. Scottie Pippen was what they call a green man. He's very green, and he was not the most knowledgeable person, especially coming into the league. I don't know. I don't know when they met, but I think they met early on. Let me see if I can pull up Scottie Pippen.
Dang. One comment said all she had to do was her time, pop out some kids, and now she's set. That's how it works.
Yeah. Dang. So they got married in 97, July 20th, 97. And so she was 23, he was 32. And so he was at the height of his basketball career.
Okay.
He just won his 5th NBA title with the Bulls. And they end up having 4 kids. The thing is Scottie Pippen he's from a small town in Arkansas. He's a small town boy. And also when he came into the league, he was underpaid for a lot of years.
I heard that. Yeah. I didn't know that.
He was underpaid for a lot of years, so there's probably a lot of money left on the table in his NBA career that he could have made.
Right.
So you have that, and then he meets Larsa Pippen. Larsa Pippen, great looking chick, and Larsa Pippen, she was 23, and she lucked up on the bag. You know what I mean? She manipulated.
Manipulated.
She getting half his retirement. What do you mean? Like this was
now, but at 23, she was manipulating him, Freddie. Come on.
What do you mean? Like it's chicks out here who from out the gate, they know what they own. They know
Brittany Reiner. Not everybody's Brittany Reinering. Okay.
Brittany Renner.
Whatever.
Yeah, Renner. No, I'm not saying everybody is that, but some are. And here you go. Here's an example of Brittany Renner.
Of him, 32 years old. Okay.
Yeah, like he like that. That's where it goes by. Just because somebody is older than somebody does not mean that they can't be taken advantage by somebody younger. Some people are faster speed.
And Bill Murray, but continue.
Exactly. Like a wise man once had made a song called Little Red Corvette. Baby, you're much too fast. And so we're talking about people who are just at faster speeds than other people. So Scottie Pippen, he was 32, early 30s. And thing is we know women mature faster than men. We know women are largely more intelligent than men. So if you factor into all of that, and then where Scottie is from, let's see where Larsa is from.
You changing your tune because last week you said Bill Murray was pulling the wool over Khaleesi's eyes.
Bill Murray is immensely older than Khaleesi. He got 30-something years on her.
Whatever.
30-something years.
We don't know people's dynamics.
Larsa Pippen is from Chicago. Larsa Pippen is from Chicago, Illinois. So she's from the big city. Scottie Pippen, hometown. Let's see.
Arkansas, you said, right?
Is Arkansas. Hamburg, Arkansas. Raise your hand if you know what Hamburg, Arkansas is. I'll wait. He's from Hamburg, Arkansas. Got into the league. She's from Chicago, Illinois. She's from the Chi. If you know anything, I know the Chi. The Chi breeds hustlers. The Chi, like women who come from the Chi know how to hustle. I mean, dudes too, but definitely the women. I remember, I don't know, y'all might can hear that siren. I live on 128th and 5th in New York, and a Harlem
giving out your address, Freddie.
Oh yeah, I just did. Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Okay,
but that's just the intersection. You still gotta. We in New York. It's probably about 5,000 people live on this corner. So you still
somebody don't sit there and wait for you.
Right, obviously. But Harlem Hospital right up the road. But Chicago. When I was in school, Chicago used to have this finesse with cell phones, with Nextel phones in particular. Everybody in Chicago was able to finesse Nextel chirp phones. Everybody had a few. I remember it was 2 different girls I knew that had the plug on how to finesse and get me a Nextel phone. I paid $30 in I have a Nextel phone for 6 months.
Always got a little deal going.
I never get this in school. It was 2 separate chicks that had to finesse to hook up on Nextel phones. They both were from Chicago. Chicago women on another level with the hustle and with the finesse. She from Chicago. She had the finesse. And I'm talking about in college. These women like 17, 18, 19, 20, when I was in school, had the finesse on Nextel phones. She's 23.
Freddie. Okay.
So she got the finesse down, and she met Scottie. And as soon as she met him, she knew she had a live wire. And Scottie finessed him, got in, he married her, locked her up. Once she locked her up, then she was like, all right, my job ain't done.
And she also, to be fair, I would like to let everyone know, was on the Housewives of Miami. She had a little something coming in. She had some coin coming in. And
how did she get on the show, though? She got on the show because she was Pippen's ex-wife.
Right. That is fair. However, I'm just saying, if you watch her on the show, because I've watched that show a little bit, she doesn't come across that way. She really doesn't. She doesn't come across as a woman. She doesn't. I
know she don't.
Now, look, her current situation is a little interesting, even though that's not on our topic today. Dating Michael Jordan's son. That's a whole other thing. But listen, the topic at hand is she's getting 50% of his retirement. I understand that she put her time in. These comments are very interesting to me, though, and I just want to call a few out. That's what men want, and that's what they get. Meaning, this type of woman, obviously people have a big stigma against, women who look a certain way. These athletes marry these women, and then they say, well, you know what? That's on you.
I guarantee. Wait. I guarantee if you click on her profile, she's horrible looking. Guarantee. click on the profile. Who said it? Click on the profile.
She deserves every penny for sleeping with that man all those years. Let's see. That's actually, she's not. She ain't bad looking. It's Lola. Lola not bad looking.
Lola who?
It's Lola 16.
It's Lola 16. She got, look all them posts she got and followers and.
All right.
She got a nice filter on. That's a heavy filter. Look at that filter. Her face all screwed up. Like I'm pretty sure. You went into your.
No. I know. I popped out.
Okay. I was like, you in your DMs, man.
Hey, I ain't got nothing in the DMs right now. The DMs are
okay. I'm about to say, like, great. But chicks say that, like, oh, dudes, like, no, that's not what you had the small town kid from Hamburg, Arkansas.
I love that you just put it all on Larsa because he's from Hamburg. You just assume that
he's green. He's green as a blade of grass.
Anyway.
Green as most men. But also, here's the thing: we love to equate men with perfect entertainers. He's an entertainer. That's a whole nother world. That average man, the average man who's making, even the average man who making lots of money, making six figures in corporate America. That world is something totally different than what most men. Entertainers, they're in the public eye. They have to put on a show. Their life is on the front page. 99.9% of men, our lives aren't on the front page. No. And so we're not interested in trying to get a Larsa Pippen. So, like it's been proven, like what 88% of black men want, like a black woman. You know what I mean? So, she's saying that she in the whole thing of like the rappers and the ballers, they go get a mixed woman and all that type of stuff. Like that's fantasy.
True.
That's fantasy.
It's true.
That's fantasy. You live in LA, you live right in the belly of fantasy.
That is fair. I do. But what I want to say is, look, I feel that she did bear his children. She put in her time. I'm not saying it as like that, but she should get something. I don't know about 50% of the retirement. Especially knowing that he did not get the maximum that he could have gotten. Let's say he was playing today. He probably would have got, triple what he got back in the day. Maybe even more than that.
He got more than that.
Yeah, more than that. So I don't know. Half his retirement is pretty steep. So I don't know. And she got some sources of income coming in. So I don't know if it was her doing it, that's what she wanted. She's obviously going to take it. And I don't know what that's going to mean for Scottie Pippen. What is Scottie doing? Is he just chilling off of his retirement now? Do we know?
No, I mean, Scottie was working as a medium. He's been working as a media member, ESPN, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day,
not that I'm
like with me, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I say all the time, like marriage is a business. You know what I mean? Marriage is a business. You have to approach it like that. Not saying you approach it from a cold place and you treat the other person cold, but you want to make sure. Just like I have friends, and I have friends where I've done, we done real estate, different thing like that. We draw up paperwork. Like before we go on, we draw up paperwork. We have contracts. Okay, you get this much, you get that much, yada yada yada. And then you move forward, and it's not like you, my friend, or any love loss. It's just the business, keeping the friendship and the business separate. And so in this case, he didn't do that. Like he should have signed a prenup. Like you at the height of your career, and you meet this chick and you marry her, and she ain't doing nothing. You don't have a prenup in place. You don't have an ironclad prenup.
I'm really surprised that someone didn't push for that for him, because I agree with you. I think, especially living in LA, I've seen a lot of divorces. I've seen a lot of people with money, and, these divorces can go on for a very long time. I'm actually really surprised this is all just coming into fruition now. They got married in 97, that's when they got married, right?
They got married in 97, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I don't really know the exact date of when they got divorced, but I thought they'd been divorced, and this was done, from a while ago.
It was finalized December 15, 2021.
That's insane to me.
So I mean that's about right, year and a half. Like you said, divorces, especially you doing stuff like this. Like you and then you got COVID, you got COVID pushbacks and
Right.
all that type of stuff. You know, yeah, that sounds about right. You know, but Scottie, he didn't have a
He should have
ironclad
done the prenup. Yeah.
prenup, but it makes sense. Like I said, it makes sense. He a green little kid from Hamburg, Arkansas. He
But
meets this
somebody, his
Chicago girl.
manager, anybody would have been stepped in. Hey, Scottie, hey man, I know you love this woman. You got to be a little more realistic. Like somebody jump in there. Like I don't know.
But it's but at the end of the day, he got to make that decision. And so if she in his ear, it's just like them girls, them women that be with dudes that be beating the mess out of him, and he be like, hold on, and you as a homegirl find out that he beating her, but then also find out that he was on a date messing with this other chick, and you go and put your nose in their relationship. Like, girl, I saw him, and then next thing you know. Well, and then he able to manipulate her mind and say like, Drea just want me. Like when he was over here, you know how Drea be looking at me, and she like, oh, you just trying to break us up because you want my man. You like, baby girl, I don't want a man that beats you and like, no, yes you do. And then now y'all not friends no more because you stuck your nose and you trying to help her out. That's why I don't get involved in people's relationships.
Listen, let me tell you something. Exactly. I agree. I couldn't agree more. I may have felt differently. I had a situation recently where there was something I saw with my friend. I was like, listen, she's not going to leave him. So I'm not going to say anything. This is not my business. And I had just met her. It was a new friend. If it was an older friend, that's a different story. You know, I think there are some things to be addressed, especially if you have like a lot of history. But even still, you got to be careful because at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, they aren't going to leave their partner. And then you're going to be the one with the problem. And then you're going to be able to hang out with them anyway.
You're the odd man out. Right.
You're the odd man out. You know, you can't have her coming over here. She talk, you know, and then it's going to be a whole, okay, you can't come over today, girl, because he over here. You're like, okay.
And like I remember I had a conversation with this one chick, and I was saying like, hey, if my friend's dating a chick, like I'm not in it. You know, I'm not about to go to him and tell him like, hey, your girl over here doing this. I'm not in it. That's his relationship. I'm not because the thing is, once you put yourself in it, then you in it. It's like quicksand. You in it, and then next thing you know, people, because we talking about relationships, that's desperation that happened, and people calling you like, oh, so Fred, remember you told me da 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 da. You're like, hold on, wait, what? I got Sharisa, yeah, I got you now. So Fred, what was you saying? Where you see Sharisa at? And you on the phone? It's like,
okay,
bruh,
Freddie. What if this is a close friend? We're talking close friend. You see his girl out with.
The only thing I'm gonna do is I might hint towards it. I'm not about to come to him and say, "Hey, I saw your girl." Blah blah blah. I might hint towards it. I might hint towards it, but at the end of the day, that's on you. I'm not here trying to be FBI for you or none of that. I'm hint towards it, and hopefully you get it. If you don't, boom.
I mean, at the end of the day, it'll all whatever you do in the dark will come out in the light anyway.
There you go. What's done in the dark always comes to light. There you go.
And it looks like Larsa is coming to the light, honey, with 50% of Scottie Pippen's. You know, I gotta say, I mean, if you're a man in this Gen Z generation and you're looking at something like this, it's like, this is why the whole family structure is just going out the window. It's just going out. I mean, men are going to look at this. Young men are going to look at this and really, especially athletes, people in the industry, and they're just going to rethink. There's a lot of people in the comments saying, this is why I'm never getting married, or I'm making sure I get a prenup. And I think it is important. I think because people are so focused on all the options that they have. And I think getting married is still a beautiful thing. But I think, as you said, Freddie, we're agreeing with each other. I do think you have to look at marriage, if you can, from a realistic standpoint. And I will say, you know, we want people, or as you would say, you want people to get married earlier and sooner. But I think sometimes understanding these concepts don't happen until later in life. And I think if I would have gotten married at like 25, 26, the way that I view relationships now versus then, totally different. Totally different. So I hope more people can understand. But Freddie, I'm just saying that's a while ago, and I was not in a certain headspace that I'm in now. Not even.
look, I 100% get what you're saying, but the thing is, you're looking at it from an individual standpoint. You're looking at it from just Drea Renee, which makes sense because you've been an individual that whole time. Life is different when you join with somebody and you aren't an individual anymore. You're a unit.
But
And when
I'm
you're a
saying
unit,
understanding relationship concepts on a bigger level, looking at the future and understanding how relationships can change, and also being able to step outside of it, like you said, and be like, hey, no love lost, but let's look at this and be realistic about what could possibly happen in the future. I don't know if all those things come so easily when you're younger.
So, I mean, like, it's a combination of two things. One is rearing, because the thing is when you get into a relationship, you should have some type of guidance. And so the thing is, that's the part that we're missing in this conversation is like, when you're getting into a relationship, and especially like, when you're younger, you should be getting into it with some type of guidance. Your mother, your father,
ideally,
and you have a village around you to guide you, and then you should be receptive. The thing is we're getting away from that. We're getting away from younger people being receptive to their village, to their mother, their father, aunts, uncles, cousins, all around them. It's like, hey, I got to do what's best for me. And all this type of stuff is all about me, 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 me. When you make it all about you, I, then you aren't receptive to guidance. You aren't receptive to your village. And so that's the first thing, when you're receptive to your village. And then thing is when you get with somebody, you're receptive to them. You actually want to cleave to them. When you look up the word cleave, because that's a biblical word. You look up the word cleave, it means attach and to join and to immerse yourself into that person. And when you properly do that, you guys grow together. You guys build, like, that's the whole thing with building a life together. It's not about you, what you want, what you trying to do. It's about we and what we are trying to do and us going forward. And so when you combine like that, your ideologies change, how you view things change. And the thing is we live in a world now, when you say that, people are like, I'm losing myself. You're not losing yourself, because it's the same concept of when you get married. Like, for example, if you got married, it would be like your mom looking at it like, I'm losing my daughter instead of gaining a son. So it's that pessimistic, optimistic view. And a lot of parents look at it like, I'm losing my child, and not that I'm gaining a child. So it's the same thing when you get into a marriage. It's not that you're losing yourself, it's that you're gaining a different perspective on life. And it's two people. It's a whole lot easier to conquer life with another perspective instead of your own. This person you got 4 eyes, 2 heads, 4 arms, 4 legs. You can do more with an additional person outside of, it's just me and let me look out for me. But people have that ideology. And so if you change that ideology, like, hey, look, I'm getting with this person now, so now I'm changing my perspective. You're not losing yourself. You're just adding more into yourself, and that's gonna essentially change how you approach life and how you move through life.
Well, on that same note, Freddie, of speaking about I think that's a great segue to move into our next topic of Miss Issa Rae, who we both love very much. Yes. So I'm going to pull this up really quickly here.
Yes, Issa Rae. Issa Rae.
Issa Rae, you guys, is in the news.
I still love her though.
Oh, I love her. She's amazing. Issa Rae reveals fear of getting pregnant. I don't want to be slowed down for any reason. Now, I was very excited to bring this up because I remember there was a woman on TikTok who was 42 and very, very happy to not have children. She didn't want to be married. And you, Freddie B, called this woman selfish. You said it was selfish for her not to have children. And Issa Rae is a force in this business. As you guys know, this woman started basically on YouTube and has completely just came into the industry and she's made herself a force, obviously. And listen, having a child definitely changes everything, right? But and she's on a roll. I'm not sure how old Issa Rae is. How old is Issa Rae? Do we know, Freddie?
Let's look it up.
She's like 35, maybe older, younger. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Oh, she's 38.
She's 38. Okay. And listen, if you guys also don't know, Kourtney Kardashian just recently had a baby with Travis Barker. That's also been circulating recently because she's 44. And so there's a lot of memes going around right now saying why are we forcing women at 30 to have children? Yes, Courtney already has 3 children. So there's that. But she's 44 and she's having a baby. I think Travis is almost 50. I'm not really sure, but he's older as well. Mm-hmm. And yes, they have a lot of coin. I get it. Situation's not exactly match to match.
That's the main part of it.
The point is, yes, the bank account matters, obviously, right? And they did try tons of methods to have a baby. But, she's not planning to pop out any babies soon. And fans have started to weigh in on her life. And to me, it's like, listen, Issa Rae can do whatever Issa Rae wants to do. I think there has definitely been a turn in our society where women are having children later, and it's fine. And these are opinions. These are opinions. A lot more work is being done. Oh yeah, it says on here she's 38. And yeah, for this current stage of her life, if it works for her and her husband to wait a few more years, she's 38. It's fine. I say, and then of course the first comment on here says, along with Freddie, it's giving selfish. And I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that.
It says, I don't want to be slowed down for any reason. I don't want to be slowed down. That is the epitome of selfish. Selfish is self.
I appreciate her honesty, though. She's super honest.
She's super honest. Yeah. Honest. You could be honest and selfish at the same time. Two things can be true. I could be honest and bogus. I could be honest and mean. I could be honest and selfish. Honest can come with a lot of other adjectives.
But she's not feeding into the societal norms. And that's when you're doing things from an outlier lifestyle. Outlier life. And the thing is, it's just this attitude of like, you're a woman, you get married, you have kids. That's what you do. And if you don't do that, well then, everybody's up in arms. I just think that's ridiculous. If you want to have kids a little bit later, she obviously has the coin. She can do it. She's very talented. She's putting out amazing content. And I think it's fine. I'm here for it. I appreciate her honesty. I think more women being honest like this is helpful. This has nothing to do with the dynamic of her marriage. I'm sure whatever decision that she's made was a conversation. I'm sure she didn't just say, I'm not having children with her husband and that's it. This is obviously in the news. But somebody wrote, kids are a scam. I'm sorry. Oh, God. But anyway, if she doesn't want to be a mother yet, I think it's fine. Because you know what? If you don't want to be a mother, you shouldn't be having children yet. And you should wait until you have them. I remember I saw a meme where this woman was like, she's walking with her baby. This is a regular woman on Instagram. She has a little Instagram channel, but she's not like a celebrity. And she's like, everybody's running around saying, oh, you should have kids. You should have kids. She's like, I'm going to be honest with you. This is hard. And kids are not for everybody. And that's okay. And if Issa Rae says, this is what I'm doing right now, I applaud her. I'm here for it. Go, Issa.
I mean, people say honesty is the best policy, but the thing is
yes,
like there's a honesty is the best policy when you're pressed for the truth. But just volunteering honesty, like putting things like being honest, like honesty ain't always good. So, like for example, and it's all about communication. Because the thing is we look in these comments, I guarantee nobody is saying, like, people either disagree or agree, but nobody is saying like, hey, like Issa Rae lives a life that 99% of y'all don't, so she can do that. The other 99% of you women out here that ain't making millions of dollars, don't take this with a grain of salt. Because like you just said with Courtney, like biology still reigns supreme. Like biology has not changed. The way a woman is made up, that has not changed since the beginning of time. It is.
Wait, I mean, Freddie.
That's a whole nother topic, whole nother story for a whole nother day. But a biological woman, biology still affects her the same as it did today, as it did in the 1500s, as it did in the 1000s, as it did in BC. It is still the same. Women can carry children at a certain time, and at a certain time it gets more high risk, and then at a certain time miscarriages goes up, and then miscarriages have dire effects on women physically and mentally and emotionally, spiritually, the whole nine. Like a woman just don't conceive a child and has a miscarriage, like, oh dang, oh well, that baby gone, let's try for a new one. Like, no, that's not how those things work. Like, when a woman has a miscarriage, that is a big effect on who she is, and you're more likely to have a miscarriage the older you get trying to get pregnant. And so the thing with Kourtney Kardashian, people celebrate them finally having a child, but they don't understand, or I'm sure nobody knows how many, maybe if she's had a miscarriage, and how many miscarriages she might have had. And then on top of that, her being a multi-millionaire, her having the resources. And the thing also is black, and that's the part that really blows me, when black women really support this, because we know how ill served black women are in the medical profession.
Yes, that is
routinely. Routinely, black women do not get the care that they need, or even close to it. I got a friend, just talking to her, she was having these headaches, and then it got to a point to where the headache got real serious. She went to the doctor. One doctor, the first doctor she went to, she never even met the doctor in person. She was always dealing with the assistant. And then the assistant came, long story short, the assistant came, and the doctor was like, okay, we're going to do surgery. He lined up surgery the following week to operate on her, because she ended up having a tumor in her head, but it was benign. It wasn't malignant. It was just benign, which isn't cancerous, but it's causing pressure in her head that's causing her to have the headaches. He was ready next week. Boom, gonna operate. I'm going there. I'm gonna take it out. Boom. And if you know anything, having invasive surgery is a big deal. Having invasive surgery is very serious. It should never be taken lightly. But sometimes we get desensitized because we watch sports and all these types of people like, oh, they had this surgery, that surgery, that surgery. They're rich and they have a myriad of different doctors to help in the recovery. Your middle class or poor ass does not have the support to help you in your recovery from invasive surgery. And so the thing is that, but the reason I'm bringing that up is because the care of the doctor, she wasn't even a person to him. It was like, hey, we're gonna operate, cut it out, boom, send you away next.
Terrible bedside manner.
And well, I don't know if he had bedside manner, because he never even was there to even be on her bedside. It was all through Zoom, and then whatever assistant told him. She didn't found a black neurosurgeon, and the black neurosurgeon had more care, more cool. Like, okay, look, these are things we can do to slowly shrink it down, and gave her a whole bunch of different options to work with. And so the thing is, it drives me crazy when you see things like this. Things like this are communicated. Issa Rae, as we know, is a force. I love her business acumen, how she's moving. She has her Hooray production record label. She's making hella money. She's not going to be taken lightly in the medical arena, because she has bread and people know she got bread. So they're going to respect her, but they respecting the money, not her. All you other black women out there that are middle class and poor, they not going to respect you, and you cannot do this. You should not champion this. You should not celebrate this. Every black woman out here should be like, hey, that works for Issa Rae, and that's it. All you other black women, do not follow this ad. I mean, really women, period, but especially black women, do not be like, I'm 38, I'm still gonna wait to my 40s to have children. Because when you need medical attention and you go in there and them doctors gonna be like, oh, we're gonna cut this out, we're gonna just do this. Because every black woman isn't like my friend. She will speak up, she's a businesswoman, so on and so forth. But some women out here like, okay, well, the doctor said it, I'll do it. And next thing you know, you can have somebody dig into your head, and then something happen, and then you're not where you need to be.
I think this conversation is important, Freddie, and I think it's good to highlight these things, especially in the medical field. You're absolutely right. I was doing research about Black women going to the hospital, having babies in the hospital, and that's why more Black women are doing at-home births with doulas and things like that, because, you know, their relationship is being built. They trust that person. It's a different experience. And, you know, a lot of Black women are getting left behind in these hospitals. I agree with you. I still don't think it's fair to put pressure on women if you aren't ready to have a child. Now, listen, if you do make the choice, because there's consequences to all of these things, right? So if you want to have your hot girl summer for, 10 years, starting at 25, you have to still just be realistic about the consequences of that. And if that's your choice, then you have to understand biologically what you are setting yourself up for.
Yeah, and that's my point. That's not being communicated. That's my point. If that was being communicated as women,
highlighted.
you can do whatever you want. Live your hot girl summer deep into your 40s. Do whatever you want. Like I'm not a fan of.
Too deep now.
Look, yeah. I'm not a fan of pressuring like hurry back kids.
No.
But the thing is that as long as you know what you're getting into, like as long as it's clearly communicated that hey, high risk pregnancy starts early mid-30s to where you can, when you do have a child, the risk of your child being Down syndrome, autistic, all these types of things are higher. Miscarriages are higher. And then knowing that what a miscarriage does to your mental and physical, knowing that you're opening yourself up to all these different things. You're opening yourself up to a whole can of worms that you don't have to deal with if you plan and orchestrate your life with more structure and not just whatever. But the thing is, I do understand that the whole narrative in life now, that media and the powers that be, if you will, this is a whole nother deep conversation I'm not gonna go into, but is to people have less children, people to not have babies like that.
Going the China route.
Right. But like the route China used to go, China don't do it anymore. They used to limit you to 2 kids.
Because
they got
you out.
Just 2.
And you better hope you have 2 boys.
Right. You better hope you get a boy in there to carry your name. But China now has lifted that because they can't do it in today's climate. But China is able to keep all the lower class, because the thing is, the more people you have, the larger the lower class is. They're able to keep it in check. They have a communist government. They control everything. In America and first world countries, they don't do that. So if you have too many people, the lower class get too big, they'll uprise and eat the rich, what people be saying. So you gotta keep the population in check. But that's a deep conversation, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. But listen, the point is
all right, Freddie. All right, Uncle Freddie.
Let's keep it.
All right, Uncle Freddie. I'll get back in your cage. Get back in your cage.
I'm sure someone watching this is going, okay, Uncle Fred.
Right. Get back in your cage. All the loony talk. Come on,
get back in the cage, buddy. But listen, I think we're both making some valid points, right? I think it's important just to really understand. And, I will speak from personal experience being a woman on the go, a hustler, a career woman. You really have to look at your choices at a certain point and kind of come to terms with certain things. But there is a very loud societal tone right now where it's like, listen, you don't have to put pressure on yourself. And, I'm set up in a way where, I can take time. I've done some things to be prepared for future if I do want to do things a little bit later, not too much later. But then I'm also thinking, at a certain point, maybe X, Y, and Z doesn't happen. And that's okay too. So it's like all women, if this is your choice, you just have to really understand what you are signing up for and what that looks like. And I think a lot of times, Freddie, people don't think about their lives as a whole, like what these major choices, the men you're choosing, all these things, what it looks like later, right? And we're all about the here and the now and the instant gratification. And when we're picking partners and all of these things and all these choices, if you are blessed enough to get to elder age and then you look back on your choices, maybe you would have made some different choices. That's what a lot of older people say. So yes, this is not something for everyone. I'm just saying, particularly for Issa Rae, I think, she obviously did an interview and this is what she said. This is how she feels. I do think it's important to look at the fact that, her financial situation, these are celebrities, because I do think people start to feel that she can do it or she did it, I can do it. And that's not always the case.
I mean, we make jokes about this all the time. People make jokes about participation trophy generation growing up, and we are that generation, and we're the participation trophy generation growing up, and people feel like they can have it all. And the thing is that you cannot have it all. You can't have it all. And the thing is I think that we have to accept that, because once we accept that, then we can accept the fact of you might have wanted something, a lot of things we want, but you can't have it all. You want this and it didn't happen. But if you can accept that you can't have it all, you can accept that it's okay. It's okay to that woman who you actually did want children, but it never worked out. And you 45, you're in your late 40s, and you still ain't married, and you didn't want to be a baby mama. And then now your body is shutting down, and then you're going through menopause, and now you can't have children. It's okay. It's okay. And it's just accepting that the how your life played out, the decisions you made, put you in that position where it never happened. But at the end of the day, it's okay. There's no reason to beat yourself up, get down, and oh my God, I'm a failure, or whatever the case may be. It didn't happen. Go forward and make the best of the rest of your life with whatever it is. But the thing is I meet women who actually in their heart, they wanted children. And it didn't happen, but then they try to convince themselves that, you know what, I don't want children. I never wanted children. That's not what I wanted for my life. So that they can, it's like a control thing. So they can keep control. Like, oh, I actually chose this. I chose this path. And I don't think there's anything wrong with acknowledging like, hey, I wanted children, but the road that I took ended up me not having children. I wish I could have had children, but I don't. And
that's
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
you don't hear like that. You will not hear that.
You don't hear that as often. No.
I've never heard that at all. I've never heard any woman in their 40s who didn't have children and wanted children say that. I always hear, I never wanted children. I don't want children. But then, like, for example, is this girl, she's been liking me for a very long time, since college. And so she recently hit me up and, been trying to talk to me or whatever like that. And I just kind of got like, I guess, fed up, with the back and forth, all that type of stuff. Like, what do you,
Freddie ain't doing no back and forth, ladies.
Yeah. Like the communication is like, what do you, cause my time is valuable. Like, what are you saying? And so, but long story short, we got into the conversation of, cause she's older than me. She's 43 and never really been in a real relationship. She's actually also a virgin. She's waiting to get married, but she's 43. And so we was talking about children, and I'm like, I want children. Like, you talking about meeting me and wanting to date and do all this. How does that shake out to you 45? Bearing these children? Huh?
45, she having kids then?
We talking about at the minimum. We talking about 45, 46, 47. She gonna be like that. You know what I mean? And so the thing is, we talk, and then like she told me, she was like in her 20s, all her 20s, she was focused on her goals and her career and all that type of stuff, and she wasn't worried about getting married or everything we talk about. Then she got in her 30s, and then she started opening up to dating guys. But her thing was to what you just said, societal pressure, like pressuring. And the thing is it can have an adverse effect to where people get to this point to where they just want to buck the system. They just want to buck against the pressure, and it has nothing to do with what they want. That person wants to get married, but people are pressuring them to get married. So they like, you know what? I don't want to get married right now, even though they really do. But people are pressuring them to get married.
That's a thing for sure.
Exactly, and that's what she did. She wants kids. She wanted kids. She wanted to be married, but the pressure of being that exists with women. And the thing is a lot of that pressure is biology. It's not really coming. It's like some of it may come from the outside.
Freddie, no. I will not let you speak for women. That pressure is biology and it's society. Oh, you haven't had kids yet? You haven't had kids yet? Well, how old are you? You haven't had kids yet? No, that comes all the time.
Biology, because people know your body will shut down.
But it's also people saying it to you all the time. And sometimes people don't want to hear that.
But and I get it. That's why I don't like because the thing is I talked to this one woman who she's barren. And so, and then hearing her story, like, you people just assuming that you have kids. And the thing is that drudges up like feelings of inadequacy from a woman. She can't have kids. She wants to have kids. And people come like, why you ain't have kids? Da, 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 da. And you don't want to get into, well, I can't have kids with everybody. So you got that. And then when I was engaged, I used to hate when people come to me like, so when y'all get married, because that would always cause a rift between me and because she was nuts. And so my personal experience and then talking with people like that, like now I don't ask for that information from women like, oh, when you gonna have kids, because I don't know her physical state until like we talk it, and then like she makes it apparent like I can have kids, so that's possible, but I'm just focused on my career. When we get to that, that's when I'm like, hold on, wait. you off base. Because the thing is the girl I was talking about, what a lot of women do, they make it sound like it's either family or career. Like it can't be both. It's impossible to have a family and career.
It's possible. It's possible.
It's 100% possible, but it's like for whatever reason, this message out here to women that you have to choose your career or family. And a lot of women are choosing career because they want to be independent. They want the control of their life. They want to be placated like this. But then all these women get to their 30s, and then they find that a lot of men, like in their 30s, want a 20-year-old woman because, like, okay, I don't want to deal with that. And then I saw this one meme, tweet. This one girl posted, and then this one girl reposted it, and she's like a man hater, but we're Facebook friends. But she reposted, and the tweet said, all these 30-year-old men want 20-year-old women because they know that a 30-year-old woman will see the B in you. And it's like, that's false, because and the thing is she proved the main reason why we don't, because it's like it's a bunch of women in their 30s.
I'm gonna bring up mine.
It's a bunch of women. Like usually you find like women be like peace. Peace doesn't come with baggage. If somebody has baggage, they're not gonna give you peace. They're gonna be a trip. They come with baggage, they're gonna be a trip. And
this reminds me of the meme I sent to you earlier. The hottest thing a man can be is a little afraid of me. And you go, and then Freddie goes, I know you love that. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen, and you know, this is hey, you gotta everybody, all the people. This is funny to me. It did make me laugh a little bit. I don't want my man to be afraid of me. Okay. That is not the case. I just think a healthy dose of like, okay, you know, she's not going to do all that. It's fine on both ends. Like you said on our podcast last week, like if your woman's like, oh, he's not going to do all that, let me set this up for him. I think on both sides that's good. Like, oh, my wife, she's not going to go there. Like that's just not happening. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's more so like, that's more so growing with your partner and knowing your partner.
I know.
Fear?
But a little fear, like, oh, here she come. I'm like,
I mean, the thing is that a healthy fear that works more so for a woman to have a healthy fear of her husband. Vice versa is more so, but like men just want peace, and so we know it's like it ain't really a healthy fear. It's more so a healthy fear of our peace being like, oh, we ain't gonna have peace none today and probably none this week, and so no. I'm not doing that, because if I do this or this happens, I know that there will be discord. There will be an absence of peace in my household for the next week.
Babe, we need to talk. Okay.
Right. And it's more so like, because a man having a healthy fear of his wife, no, that doesn't exist.
It works for me.
It's having a healthy fear of what will be gone.
Anyway, whatever. However he needs to, you know, say it for his brain to sleep at night. Whatever, that works for me. All right, let's move on to our next clip. Can you pull that Facebook one up or no? Are we?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing this. This clip Freddie sent to me. I wish we could have played it and watched my actual real-time reaction, but I had a full visceral somatic experience watching this, and Freddie was loving every second of it. I'm not sure what his name is, but yeah, this was pretty intense. Okay.
Yeah. This
gents, others, listen up.
Yeah, I really wish we could have, and actually, when you were watching it, I was about to tell you to stop watching it. And so as you guys can see, William Elston, he actually came on the show early on in the process, and he sent this to me. So here we go.
Oh God.
Dear Steve Harvey, ever since you told women to act like a lady and think like a man, I've been seeing more women take their own trash out. Reposting Justin Little Boy and how they don't need a man, but get their cash up in the bio asking for a handout. I mean, you say you want a man, but you ain't doing nothing to stand out. Remember, Gina still got married to Martin. Y'all rather take the Tommy and Pam route. I mean, you say you want a man, but you just want an enabler. is going to tell you right in every situation. Yes. You want a traditional man to pay your traditional rent, but you got a modern day attitude in a modern generation. It don't work like that. And half the men you talk to ain't got jobs and don't work like that. I mean, you say you want to provide her, but all you got to bring to the table is baggage, and it's okay as long as it's a Birkin bag. Talking about how with the right man, you naturally going to submit.
No.
Man, you got a reality TV show attitude. Ain't no man going to deal with that shit. But I guess Derek Jackson told you your worth. You held on to every word when he spoke on your hurt. Every post he made, you reposted it first. I don't know what's worse, him cheating on his wife, but you following him after he praised her, then he made her feel insecure. But I guess Kevin Samuels can't be taken seriously. I mean, how you want a high value man when your value is low spiritually? I mean, I guess the ace in the metaphor is a man telling you right, because that's the only time you listening. I mean, you say you want a man, but you bash men every time men are being mentioned. Dear Steve Harvey.
Lord, let me call on Jesus. I gotta call on Jesus.
Call on Jesus. You know?
I gotta call on Jesus.
She calls on.
What? Now listen. This is interesting to me.
Where did he lie?
What?
Where did he lie?
What do you mean? Where did he lie? All men don't have jobs. The Birkin bag thing. You want men to pay your rent.
No, he said the men you choose don't have jobs.
Yeah, that's not true.
I mean, not you. We're not talking about you, Drea. We know how you roll. You know, the men you choose
like that.
Got jobs. Well, for the most part.
Yeah. Anyway, this and I loved all the men in the back going, woo, woo, yeah. Woo,
no, it was some women voices in the end. Women voices.
There were a couple women voices, but
Girl,
it was mostly the men piping up. And whatever. Look, I get it. There's been a lot of men bashing in our society. I will say that. I'm not going to own it for everybody. I'm not, but I understand that the male journey. Oh, poor man. Oh, when. You know. I get it. That's where this is coming from. So I already know the type of mentality that this particular man has. Listen, I blame the Gen Zs. That's what I'm going to say. I blame the hot girl summers. That's who I blame for this. Because look, he's right. I will say there is a really interesting space of wanting to be an independent woman, right? And then also be treated like a lady. There's a weird balance within that. Now, I don't need anybody to pay my mortgage. I'm okay. Thank you very much. If you would like to, go ahead. But I don't need you to. So, you know, it's interesting. So, because then it becomes like, oh, if I'm going to do X, Y, and Z for you, you need to submit to me. I've never said if I find the right man, I will submit. I said I will feel safe because you guys know very well.
You're not submitting, period.
No, probably not. Now listen, that I don't like that word submit, because I think you can still live in that neighborhood, but not in that house of submission. I'll walk around the house. Maybe even.
So how do you feel like, okay, being faithful, a man can walk around that neighborhood of being faithful, but not actually be faithful?
No. If that word, listen. If a man
you get it then. You understand it now.
No. Listen, I stand with my issues with the word submission. I stand with that. If you as a man have an issue with the word faithful, then you should go date somebody else. And if you as a man have an issue with me having an issue with the word submission, then you should go be with somebody else. That's how
but the man you want will require that.
No, he doesn't.
Yes,
you don't know
100%.
what you're. Listen, honey.
100%.
No.
100%.
No.
You want a man that
I want needs me to say I'm going to submit. That is not the man I want. The man I want will understand that the word being safe and feeling protected. Cool, we can work with that. You're not telling me to submit. I'm sorry. That's not.
No, it's not the fact that he's lording over you. Like, hey, say you gonna submit. Say you gonna submit. Any man like that ain't gonna happen. It's just he gonna be with you, and then he hears that. Oh, you got a problem with submit? Oh, never mind.
Well, never mind to you too. Bye. See ya. The man that's gonna see me is gonna be like, listen, Drea, she don't like that word. I get it. It is what it is. Like she'll fall into her soft girl area, and I'm cool with that. But she don't like the word submit, so let's just do something else. And then we're gonna move the F on Freddie. Okay.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe in, you know, how people like, I mean, I'll say speaking out into God, but some people say speaking into the universe, speaking into the universe and speak it into existence.
Yeah.
Do you know why people say that?
Well, you're going to tell me, Freddie.
No, I'm asking you, do you know why people say that?
I mean, I know why I say it, so it can happen.
Right, but the whole concept is that words have power. When you say things, that activates different things in the world for it to happen. And so the thing is that with the whole submission thing, what we just said, you won't even say it, so it can't activate, so it won't happen.
What are you talking about? That's Freddie. The thing is, it is the particular word of submission. Now, what you mean by submitting to your man, letting him lead and all these things, I don't know if I necessarily have an issue with some of those things, but it's like this whole thing of like, I'm here and you're there. I'm not doing all that. All right. And in my experience with the men that I've dated, these kind of conversations are just not happening. And I'm okay with that. I don't need a man to come to me talking about me submitting to him. That I don't need all that.
When you say they're not happening, you mean like they're not making them happen, or you're just saying like you ain't gonna let it happen?
No, it's not that I'm not letting it happen. It's just like these kind of this thought process of male female dynamics of the man is this and the woman is this. These men aren't coming from that mindset. It's sort of, this is Drea, I am me, we're going to be together and figure it out. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm the man, so, you know, I'm leading this. That's not how that's working, Freddie.
Why does all these men talk like this? That I'm the man, that's how it works. Why are these men like from the backwoods of Alabama with an 8th grade education that are requiring submission?
Because that's what it feels like to me, and I don't like it.
Obviously.
Yeah. Like it.
Obviously, when
the thing is, you're missing my point. My point is and this is not on this man's point of like, oh, with the right man, I'll submit, because that's not how I see that. I see it as like a man coming into my life. I'm looking at his lifestyle. I'm looking at his setup, X, Y, and Z. You know, I think things can naturally happen. I don't think this whole idea of sort of how we're putting a hard, acute label of this is what needs to happen. You know, I think those kind of conversations kind of throw me off. Now, things organically happen. I know you hate that word, and I love that for you, but I love it for me to use that word. These things organically happen. Like, hey, Drea, I'm doing this. We're planning this, whatever. Now, I've seen, because of history, they're like, oh, okay, I can trust that what he's saying is going to happen. He's shown me X, Y, and Z. Okay, I can chill out, pull back. Now, if I don't agree with something, I'm going to say something always. But like, I'm like, okay, I can let him do that organically, right?
I mean, organic things happen organically has its place, but things have to happen organically within structure. If you have no structure, then organic leads to chaos, and the chaos leads to disarray and unhappiness, so on and so forth.
You don't need
you gotta have structure. And the thing, and also the thing is we lack structure in the world, period. Which because you send me a lot of videos about how the structure is just gone. We lack structure, period, in today's world, and so then that leaks into relationships, just no structure being there, and so then you can't be organic where there's no structure. You can't. It's like imagine you work at a job.
Freddie. That's actually
100% true.
It's incorrect.
That's 100% true. Because the thing is organic means things are just happening. You're going with the flow.
Yeah,
but the thing is even a river, it flows downstream, but there is a structure. The banks are right here. It can't flow past the banks. You can't flow past that. You can flow this way. You can only flow this way. There's structure. Thing is when you talk about no structure, things being organic, that's like having
no structure.
That's like a flood. That's a flood. No, that's when a hurricane hits Miami and water is everywhere.
I'm not saying there shouldn't be structure. I'm just saying that I understand.
You're not speaking to the structure though.
I'm speaking to the organic way.
Exactly. You need structure first. Structure comes first.
No. I think that what happens is you meet and you kind of see the person.
You want what? Oh, you lie, you lying dirty dog, you.
What? What's happening?
You, ooh-wee.
Why am I a lying dirty dog?
Ooh-wee. Because if anybody who watches this, we've had plenty of conversations about how you want the man to set the temperature and show. That's called structure. You don't just meet
Freddie,
and just organic.
Saying if we're gonna go forward and be together, I want that set by him. Sure, I want him to ask me.
Structure. You want structure.
Fine.
You want him to set structure.
Structure, Freddie. Fine, we can call it structure. I'm just get out the camera, Freddie. To me, that can still organically happen. Okay. I'm just saying all these like rules and bullet points that you love to say on this podcast every single week. I'm not with the man doing this and he has to take all the control. I'm not doing all that. Some of these things have to be a balance of my thoughts and ideas and his thoughts and ideas. Some things he takes the lead on. Some things I take the lead on. That is how I operate. Okay. That's it.
Man, you know good and well.
Now, setting up the relationship foundation of that we're going to make this exclusive. Yes, I personally feel
that's a level of structure.
That structure can go with submission. I don't like it.
That's what I'm saying. You like, and it goes back to what he was saying. How women want
for me.
Women want traditional men while they live in a modern world. So
I just don't particularly like those words.
They want their cake and eat it too, as people say.
No.
Women want the benefit of a man being a man, but then they want the option to be a woman or a man when it suits them.
You know what? You can't even say manly man anymore these days, but whatever.
There's that.
No, you can't. They're like, what do you mean a manly man?
But women want the man to be structured and want him to structure a relationship and live a structured life.
The man to be structured just because I want him to ask me to be his girlfriend? That's silly.
Those are boundaries. What do you think boundaries are?
I want boundaries. Sure.
Boundaries are structured.
Freddie,
that's a part of structure.
Okay, fine. For all intents and purposes, we're going to say the word structure, right? Yes, I would like some structure. All I'm saying is we can have structure on both ends. No one is going to tell me what to do all the time. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
What is that?
That's what I hear. Okay. And I know a lot of women.
Why do you hear that? Look, I'm like, you ain't got to answer that question.
Freddie, when people watch this podcast, they think you are a trip. You are a trip because you have an antiquated way of thinking about relationships. And that is
I have a structured and
man's gotta be here. Get out. I'm like, I gotta go.
I don't even talk. I don't talk like I'm from the backwoods of Alabama, man. That's not how I talk.
Well, that's how the men in my mind speak. So.
That's not how I talk. Because the thing is that you gotta have structure in a situation.
Sure.
And the thing is what you said. A lot of women feel that way, and what I would say is, why do these women feel like somebody's telling them what to do and it's a dictatorship and a totalitarianism, and they're just dictating, like, hey, get up, go do this, go do that, go do that, go do that. Why is that the outlook of submission? And the thing is, I would say that has more to do with the women who feel that way than anybody else.
Freddie, you know what I think it is? I honestly feel like it's the weight of suppression of women in its totality. That's kind of what I feel.
What did you just say?
That's what I feel. The weight of the suppression of women. Because when I'm thinking, I'm looking inward, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, what is this, right? Like, what is that? And I think women for so long being put in the kitchen and you go over there and you can't do this. And I'm not even just speaking for myself. I think I'm also speaking for women generally speaking, right? The modern woman, as you say, and women feeling all the time, oh, men can do this, but I can't. Right. And I'm not saying, look, there's many things that have come up for me during this podcast of like, oh, okay, men and women just are different on some things. We can't just do all the same things. Right. I agree with you on that. So like I've said before, I think there's a balance that's just really off balance right now, but maybe it's coming back this way as more men are feeling the same way on the other end. Like the man has now been suppressed. Women always bash men because it's true. And I've never thought about this. The more memes I watch, you talk about men ain't ish. That's all you hear. You hear that quite a bit. So as a man, you know, men are being thrown under the bus all the time. And there's all these different groups of men who are coming back, like popping off and, you know, clapping back, being like, no. And these modern men, because we always talk about the modern woman, but there's a whole slew of modern men coming up now who are hating on women and they don't want to get married and they're hate dating. That's a whole thing too. They're dating women and they're hating them. Okay. And they're treating them like garbage because of all of this stuff going on. The Kevin Samuels, the Andrew Tates, and so there's just this off balance right now in our society. And I don't know. And I've said this many times. I don't know where it's going to land. I don't know what it's going to look like. But right now there's just this sort of fight going on internally and externally with men and women. Okay. What's Freddie pulling up?
So
what's he pulling up right now?
So we got this. This is some group I'm in, and so you see right here, it says guys.
Society.
Yeah, somebody invited me to this group. It's like a bunch of it's women above 5'8", men taller than 6 foot.
Oh, okay.
So somebody posted this. Guys, when it comes to someone you seriously pursue, is the way she dressed a factor? I'm just randomly wondering if guys still prefer women to dress more conservative or it doesn't matter. Now, what I will say is,
Freddie,
damn near all the comments where men was like, if I'm dating her, I don't want her dressed provocatively, dress more conservative. She need to be showing everything. I didn't see not one guy in there like, oh yeah, I want my chick to show all her titties and butt and all that stuff. I didn't see it. But that's just one group. So then I said this. I said, if you dress like you for the streets, so I'm assuming you are for the streets. You're not about to be out here embarrassing me dressed like a street woman and you taken. So the way you dress determines if I can take you seriously or not. If I can take you serious, ring her. If I can't, maybe throw some D at her if she bad enough. That's what I said.
Talk about honesty. Lord.
And then this person, Solely Robeck, please enlighten me, oh high value man. What is an example of a woman, and I quote, dressed like you for the streets? That's what they reply with. Now, Solely Robeck, if you had to guess their gender, sex, whatever, what would you guess that they are?
I guess Solely's a woman.
Okay. A woman about how old? Young, middle-aged, or old?
Contextually, I'm guessing you're saying she's older.
So you just based off this, you would think that this is an older woman.
Maybe.
All right. Solely Robeck.
Oh God, we breaking down Solely?
Yeah, we gonna. I already told Solely I was gonna do this.
Oh, what is this?
Solely Robeck is a big grown ass man that said this. A big grown ass man, and okay. I guess he must have, and he's married.
Oh, okay.
It said he was married on his profile. I don't know how true that is.
Maybe he's not anymore.
So then this is what I said. Def thought you was a chick at first. You a whole grown ass man typing like this on Beyonce's internet. If I got to break down what a chick dressing too provocatively and showing too much for you, then we won't have the opportunity to discourse because I'll be your teacher and you be my student. And I don't debate with children and or subordinates. Then he posted something and deleted it because that's what he said. He was like, I was being judgy.
Why you read that man like that?
He said I was being judgmental and judgy on women on how they dress. I don't know how he got that from what I said. I said, if I'm dating her, she don't need to be out here dressing all crazy because I don't want to date a woman like that. And then he said, I'm being judgmental. I said, I'm being judgy because I got preferences, because I don't want certain things in my life. A man can't dictate where he spends his time, money, and emotions on. Bruh, respectfully, do you do drugs?
Oh my God, Freddie.
Wait, check this out. Wait till you see his reply. Respectfully, do you do drugs? Do you respect yourself as a man, or do you believe women can do whatever it is she wants while men beholden to what she wants? Just like she can dress how she wants, I can pick who I want to take my last name and carry my lineage. You sound foolish at best, respectfully. Try to be respectful.
Right. I love when people put respectfully on everything.
And then he said this, and respectfully, there's a difference between having preferences and judging a person by their freedom and choice of lifestyle.
Modern comments.
Yes, I do drugs and meditate out in the sun. You can't make this stuff up. I'm like, hold on, look at this picture.
Solely. Good for you.
I looked at this picture and saw what he said. I was like, he has to be one of the tree hugger. Like, I do drugs, I microdose, and I lay in the field.
A microdoser for sure.
Yes, and because he's that, and I saw he was married. He's that guy that's like, you know, he's like D Wade and Gabrielle. He got a woman.
Don't you do D Wade like that?
Look, he's similar, not quite like D Wade, but he's that guy that like worships the ground his wife walks on. She runs right over him, and she lives in that space of like, I have a man who's gonna contribute to the household. I ain't got to pay all the bills myself. I pay some of them, and he gonna do what I say, and this is fine. And more than likely, she probably got a little boy toy on the side, and he fine with it.
Leave Solely alone. We don't know what Solly's doing. Okay. Yes.
Solely is on Facebook bothering me. That's what he's doing. On Facebook.
Listen, you go microdose and live your life. Okay. We're here for it.
Right.
But he's not, but I am.
No, I'm not here for none of his shenanigans. And I'm telling him now, I just had to make you an example on my podcast. I'm telling him this now.
Oh my God, you guys, Freddie is so funny, but you did read him his rights. I gotta say, Jesus, respectfully, Solely, don't come for Freddie because he'll clap back real quick.
I mean, I get paid to do these types of things. I get paid to clap back as a host. You know what I mean?
Great clap backer. Wow. So, okay, I hate to wrap us up, but Drea Renee's got to run today. This has been wonderful. You guys have been fabulous. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Our Instagram, our YouTube, which we still have to get going, but it's going. Just make sure you go like and follow, subscribe, and do all those things, right?
Y'all see it at the bottom? Like, comment, subscribe, follow the Token of the Truth everywhere, man. Let's do it.
We are everywhere. We'll be back next Tuesday, 6 p.m. I'm Lady Drea Renee. Please make sure you comment and let us know your thoughts about today's podcast. See you later.
We out.